Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. Y'all had this Zoom meeting this weekend. It was on Sunday. I was out the country. But how many of y'all participated? That's the question. How many of y'all participated? See, the thing that tends to get underneath Jay's skin, number one, is Jay speaking about himself in third person. I don't understand why he does that. It actually makes Jay pretty sick when he speaks about himself in third person. So the next time I get to speak to him, I'm going to let him know that's not acceptable. Jay and you are just one person. And let's see what he has to say, all right? Let's be serious for a minute. For those that don't know, I was going to use a clip from his Build the Fighting NALC podcast, and I said, no, I need you guys to go and listen to it. So I'm going to try and leave a link to it in the pinned comment, because it's 49 minutes of a summary of what it was. And it was incredibly inspirational. Yes, I listened to it. And you should all listen to it as well. Just play it in the background. How do you listen to it? Well, it's on Amazon Audible, so I know all of you have Amazon, and you should, it's free. Just listen to it. But here's the thing. Building a fighting union, what did they speak about? They had key points. The objective was to organize members to build a stronger NALC that they can effectively fight for its members' interests. I got some key points here. It tended to focus. It focused on a movement within the NALC aimed at promoting opening bargaining resolutions, transparency, and accountability in leadership. They also featured a guest, which was one of the carriers. And I'm not sure if they spoke the person's name, and they just basically discussed the importance of organizing a membership to create a stronger union that'll advocate for better working conditions, wages, and representation. Now, the one thing that stuck out to me the most was the fact that they kept saying that your president of your union was sitting behind, and they felt like he wasn't even in bed with management. They felt like he was part of management, more so than managers themselves. And I got an episode coming up for you in a minute where you can listen to certain things in regards to management and why they do the things they do. But the key points were, basically, they had a monthly Zoom meeting to address the past and pass these resolutions from various local branches nationwide. There were definitely more representation on this one than the last one. Now, I'm not taking any credit for it. All I did was just leave a link. And I hope that a lot more people showed up. I didn't get a count of the numbers yet, because last time they only had 150. I was hoping you guys were going to break the internet. There were people that were calling in saying that they had trouble. They had trouble getting on. So that's a good sign. They wanted to emphasize the power of collective action and the potential for change when the members are united and informed about your rights and the negotiation process. Basically, everything I've been telling you. Educate yourself, be informed, and stop putting your faith in others to do your job. If you're paying the union money and your president isn't leading, then it's time to get rid of your president. At the end of the day, that's what it all narrows down to. He said it in his episode as well. He does not believe that Renfro nor the vice president is going to be around the next election cycle, which also brings me to another point where if you all are paying dues and you don't feel like you're being represented to your fullest in your own areas, it's time for you guys to step up. All the crying, whining, and fussing about what's not happening. Man, this brings me back to almost a year and a half ago. I said for you to step up and say something about it, do something about it. Don't just entrust your faith with other people. You have to basically build your future by being involved. That at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And this is what they talked about. It's a call to action for NALC members, which is most of you, to get involved and contribute to building a fighting union. And it asked if you were interested in more details and participate in the movement. You can go and check on the link and chime in. But again, the way individual spoke on there, he basically said, you know, if you hang around with skunks long enough, you're going to start to smell like a skunk, even if you're not a skunk. And that's how he related your president to what's going on right now, saying that he doesn't lead from the front, he leads from the back. This is real. This is true. And again, I keep emphasizing to the ones that keep jumping on, what does it got to do with you? You're not even a carrier. What does he care? Hey, whatever, man. We're all postal brothers and sisters. So what does it matter to me? You're watching me. At the end of the day, you're watching me. And if you're complacent, like he also emphasized, there's a lot of people that are complacent where they're at, which is also a downfall of how you guys are getting represented now. People that are complacent. Complacency, as I said before, is the enemy of progress. And when people sit complacent, there's nobody going to do anything about it for you. So let's keep fighting. And again, I'm just the voice. And no matter how many people don't like the voice, it's a voice of reality. Organizing and educating, that's what they're supposed to do. Collective bargaining, a fighting union, bringing workers together, educating you all on your rights and the power of collective action. Meetings where you guys should be, chiming in. You just don't give money away. Don't chime in. Your voice needs to be heard. And he was letting people get on there. He let people get on there and voice their words. Speak. Talk about what was going on. Man, my glasses look really bad. Y'all can see how blind I am. Shit, now I can't see. But he was letting you all have your words, which is what your president's supposed to be doing. Listening. Collective bargaining. Collective coming together. Taking the opinions of everybody and then utilizing that as a bargaining tool for management. The key aspect of a fighting union is the ability to negotiate contract with employers that secure better wages, benefits, and working conditions for members. Activism and advocacy. You're supposed to engage in various forms of activism, such as picketing, campaigns. Can't strike, but you're supposed to put pressure on employers to draw attention to your cause, whatever your cause is, whatever the cause is. Legal and political action. Unions also participate in legal challenges and political lobbying to influence laws and policies that affect workers' rights and interests. That doesn't mean they go and they vote for one specific people. They don't say, everybody in the NALC needs to vote Republican or we need to vote Democrat. No, that's not what it means. That means that in your local area, whoever's running the show, you get over there and you say, hey, man, we voted you all in. Even if I didn't vote for you, you're running this state. We having issues. We need you to go and talk to people in Congress, talk to people in the Senate, and let people know what's going on here. And more, it's happening more and more now. He also spoke about social media. And the fact that social media has people that are voicing their opinions about what goes on in a post office. And the times have changed where people are voicing their frustrations. Y'all need to listen to the episode. I don't get on here and sit here and TikTok. No. Speak about it all. Adaptability and resilience. The fighting union needs to be adaptable to changes, circumstance, and the resilience in setbacks. That's what they talk about. Adapting to the changes that the joy has put forward. The ones you can't control because you didn't get ahead of the ball. When I spoke about this before it happened, a year before it happened, everybody thought it was a joke. And now everybody's backpedaling. Everybody's complaining. I was ahead of the ball. If y'all would have took that seriously, I know that, you know what? There's a lot of people that still are subscribed that watched me back then and said, this will never happen. Those are their words. I said, it's happening. No, it ain't never going to happen. If they would have took the words back then before the joy started with what he was doing, the unity may have had a different circumstance, a different outcome. I showed y'all a video before. In one of my videos, I played my words from way back in the days, and then I even showed you the video link. You could have went in there and just read over 500 comments. Half of them were doubters, and they called me crazy. But if you would have been proactive instead of having to be reactive now, we wouldn't be going through this as bad. And now that we have to go through this with the electric cars, the RPDCs, the SNDCs, you have to adapt, which is why you need a strong union leader that says, okay, I understand we have to take 5 stations out of their area, bring them all to your one SNDC, but this is what we expect. Lay out what the workers want. But did the workers get involved? Continuous improvement. A fighting union is always looking to improve and build on past successes. Somebody said when I read that interview that I had with the person in the NALC, they said, oh, it sounds like last year's stuff. That's what they do. They build off of what has worked. They build off of it. Every year. This worked, this failed. Let's look at this and let's try to build off of it. If your voice isn't saying, hey, I like this, or I don't like that, all they're going to do is just duplicate the last or take away from your last contract. And then you're stuck. Fighting union is a dynamic process that requires commitment, strategy, and a collective effort for all its members. Collective, that means everybody needs to come together. Strategy, people need to put their brains together. Does this only apply to NALC? No. This applies to every single craft. If you feel as if you're not being represented with your current representative, vote them out. Vote them out. Y'all have given multitudes of comments to this weird guy on the internet and said, this is what's going on. My steward does this. My steward does that. My union vice president does this. My union vice president does that. Here's the thing. Is it only you? Is it only you that feel that way? Or does everybody feel that way? Because if everybody felt that way, then everybody should vote that person out. Only you can be the change you want to see. Start with yourself. Be the change you want to see. This is JH. If you felt like this video was of any worth to you, leave your comments. I'd love to hear them. I'm out.